Hey, how's it going? Welcome back. This is Amy, and if you're new, welcome too. And this is Book Talk Tuesday. Yay, we made it back to Book Talk Tuesday. Woo! Yeah, so today's Book Talk Tuesday, we're going to talk about, or we're going to do a New Year, New Me book tag. Yeah, my glasses, because I can't see. I already had my coffee. We're on to water, plain and simple. Just like this video, plain and simple. We'll see. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to do a book tag today. Got my stack of books here that we're going to talk about. I think there's a few I don't have that we'll have to put up on screen, but that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, today is Tuesday the 14th. Again, welcome back. Welcome to. And we'll do the weather update. Weather update. We didn't do it very good last time. Doggy girls are going to want in. Kicked them out. They were barking before we started. Well, I started, and then this is my second restart, maybe my third. I don't know. Today it's supposed to be getting colder here. We're in Northern California. Yep, still terrible, horrible fires going on in Southern California. Santa Ana winds, I hear, are kicking up again. I don't know what else to say about that. It's just decimating whole neighborhoods. But here in Northern California, north of Sacramento, is going to be, it says 64 degrees. It's 53 right now at 10:48 a.m. So we'll see. But yeah, it's going to get down to, I think this next Monday is going to be 59 degrees is the high. And then before that, it looks like Friday through Sunday will be about 60 degrees. Going to be some fog at night, it looks like, on a Saturday. But anyway, it's going to get a little chiller. No rain in the prospects here. Says you've got a few days before the Arctic chill. Thanks. Thanks, weather app. Anywho, that is the weather update. No news is good news. Okay, so since we're here for a book talk video, we're going to do books. And we're just going to get right to it. There's no shows and tells. I don't think I have anything good like that. And I already drank my coffee. So we're on a roll. The coffee's kicking in, and here we go. So yeah, so this book tag is called New Year, New Me. And I seen this on I watched a couple of videos. I watched Beyond Books and Book Chat with Pat. They did a couple. I'll tag their videos down below in the description. I watched theirs. They had good videos. I always like watching their videos. And so there is, what is it? 7 prompts or what? Yeah, tag. I don't know what it's called. I say prompts. An 8 is bonus, and then there's 9 is tag someone. I don't have anybody to tag, so feel free to tag yourself. Go ahead, tag away. I do sometimes. Anywho, so the first one is, and I'll write them down in the description too, so you know what the prompts are and what my answer was for those. And then I'll have a list of my books that go with those prompts. If there is books. These should all be books, except for 8 is a bonus. Anyway, we'll get to it. Let's start. So the first one is fears, is I don't know, theme. And the question is, what is one book from your 2025 reading goals that scares you? A lot of them scare me. A lot of them scare, and I have some horror, so that scares me too. Um, but the one that came to mind is because I had it on my 24 for 24 reading list last year, and I didn't get to it. And I put it on my 25 for 25 reading list this year because I really do want to get to it. This was also made into a TV series, and on I want to say it was HBO, and I've seen some of the shows, some of the episodes, and I really enjoyed it. So I knew I would probably really enjoy the book, but I have it's a chunker, and it's got, and I don't usually read this genre, which is a fantasy. I would call it a fantasy. olden days, I would have said an adventure, um, whatever. But that is Game of Thrones by George R. Martin. So yeah, this kind of scares me. It's a chunker. Also, it's just the theme of, I got it at Goodwill, and it's in pretty good shape. So the first one in the series is Game of Thrones, and then I forget how many there is. In this book, it just shows two, three, I think four more, but I think I want to say there's like seven. I don't know. Um, yeah, but this is the first one, and what did it say? Okay, so it says, look for these thrilling novels in George R. R. Martin's saga, A Song of Ice and Fire. So, oh, and then there's another series because so after the show, I think he I think he wrote these while he was doing the show. There's the prequel to Game of Thrones. Um, I don't know what it's called, but that's a show on, I think it might be HBO 2. I don't know, but that's these covers inside. This was a new one at the time, which was A Dance with Dragons. I don't know. Anyway, so I know what the gist of this is about. He has maps, thank God, because you know what? I'm going to need it because I'm going to need to know where I'm at in this little world. Um, yeah, so this one, it's a pretty big one, and it's a whole different world, literally. And I know there's a lot of character. I watched the show. There's a lot of characters. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of building, a lot of tearing down, a lot of killing. Um, and it looks medieval, but it's, well, if it's supposed to be a year or future or what. But anywho, it does scare me because it's going to be a slow read for me just because I know I'm going to have to, um, think hard and long about who I'm reading about and where I'm at. But yeah, so that's the fears one. This is the one that scares me, but we're going to get through it. I really want to get through it. And then I'm thinking about buying the series on DVD too. I don't know about that yet, but because it can be kind of expensive to get all of the, DVDs. Yeah. Okay. Number two, patience. Uh, I'm going to call these themes, I guess, but the question is, what is the one book on your 2025 reading goals you want to start immediately? Well, we're already into 2025, and one of the books I did want to start at the first one in 2025, and I did start it and I did finish it. So we're getting a little bit of a backed up here, but back up a few days, but was Influencer by Adam Caesar. This was a new one of his that's out. It was out this last year, October, and it's a young adult horror or thriller. I think it was, well, it had, it was pretty graphic. It had some things, but I yeah, I think I was the first one from the library to get this. One of the first people, but brand new. Yeah, this was a good one. I did finish it. I haven't did a review of it yet, but I will say I really liked it. And this is one that I knew when the new year came, I wanted to finish what I was reading, which was at the end of the year, I finished Cold Clay, which was Shady Hollow #2, and Clown in a Cornfield 3, Church of Friendo. I wanted to finish that series and get to Influencer. Adam Caesar wrote Clown on the Cornfield trilogy. So this is one I did like that series and I did like his writing. So I really wanted to get to this before I had to take it back to the library. And I did. And so I finished it. It took me a little bit longer just because I'm a slow reader and I read mostly at night before I go to, well, as I'm in bed. But yeah, so this one I did. I finished that goal. I did #2 already. That was Influencer, and that was the one that I wanted to start immediately, and I did. And that was a library book. And the third theme prompt is growth. It says, which book last year pushed you to reflect and or grow as a reader? Well, I don't have this book with me because I borrowed it from the library. But there was a little book of short stories by Pacific Islander author named Epeli Ha'afa, and I'm probably not saying that right. I think he was Tongan, but his parents were missionaries and they moved all over, like in, I think they were Papua New Guinea. They ended up being in Australia, New Zealand. He went to school and college there in Australia, I think, and he ended up being a professor. Anyway, he's a writer, and he wrote Tale of the Tekongs, and I read this. It was a reading assignment we had in college. I went to college in Hawaii, and on the Big Island of Hilo. It's the island that has the volcano, by the way. And yeah, loved it there. I miss it. I actually had a dream last night. I was back in Hilo. That's how much I miss it and my friends. And anyway, so I went to college there. I went back to college as a older, more seasoned student, and I studied history, and so going to school there, one of the things for your some of your general ed stuff that you do for your bachelor's, you still have stuff you have to touch on different areas of history or geography or whatever. So one of the thing under whatever things it's called, the little study portions for your major, um, one of the ones I chose was geography of the Pacific. And so this was one of assigned reading was the Tales of the Tekongs, and I really liked it. And so that was back in 2012. I graduated 2014. And so that was my first semester, and I took that class, and we read this, and I really enjoyed it. And I just didn't get, I just had reading as a history major. You have a lot of reading, and then you're reading in your area of what you're studying, which I was majoring in U.S. history, so I had a lot of stuff, but I chose a lot of women's history topics to write about and stuff like that in each um, course of U.S. history. Anyway, that being said, I reread this because I've been wanting to reread it. It had been a while, and this made me think about um, wanting to read more about either Pacific Island authors or stories from the Pacific. Not necessarily just Hawaii, but the other islands. There's a lot, if you didn't know. And the geography of the Pacific is very big. And so, yeah, reading more in that area just because, I really cling to Hawaii and the islands, and I have friends there. I have a good friend there, and haven't been able to go back and visit yet. Hopefully soon. But yeah, the Tale of the Tekongs really made me want to this year read some more Pacific Island authors or stories about that. And I have a few on my list that I'm going to. There's about three or a good handful that I hope to get to this year that I plan to read. Um, so yeah, that's that. So number 4 is new paths. What is on what 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 Amy, what? Okay. I didn't write this out right. It says, what is one author you plan to try for the first time in 2025? Well, I kind of did that one already too. Because I was thinking about this and I thought, well, this was one I did want to try for this new year. And when I finished Influencer, I have been reading Hairpin Bridge by Taylor Adams. And Taylor Adams is one I wanted to try. Last year I had his The Last Word on my 24 for 2024. I didn't get to it. I do have that in my TBR cart. See, we're going to show right back here. I try to pick from this cart first before I go over here to these bookshelves. Um, yeah, but I did want to, so my TBR for January, this is one of the books I picked to read, and I'm almost done with it. I'm about 55%, I think. I'm right there. Last night I made a good chunk of it. It's going really well. I'll hopefully I'll review this one when I do the influencer, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, it's going really well. I'm liking his writing. So I have two other books. Obviously, I have the that I wanted to try him, so I've been reading him, so I've been doing that. The other one is No Exit. I want to read that one. This one I found, I think it's on Hulu. There is a movie. I guess it's a movie they made out of this story, and I just came across it this, surprisingly, and so I definitely want to get to this before I watch the movie, and I'm really wanting to watch the movie. And then of course there's a last word that I had last year that hopefully I'll get to this year. It's not that big. His books aren't really that big. They're reasonable, you know. This is reasonable. But yeah, so this is the last word. So I have three of his. I'm reading the Hairpin Bridge right now. Should be finished in a day or two. So yeah, so I accomplished that. I did that was one author I wanted to try this year. And let's see. And then under self-care. Oh, and another one I wanted to try. I put a couple on here. Another one I wanted to try that I do want to get to, and I bought his is a big series, and I found the first one. Um, it's actually it's like brand new at the I think it was at the library sale, or oh no, I got it at Goodwill. But it's Michael Conley's Bosch series. That's a TV series on I know it's on Prime. I came across it on a Prime, but this is the first one. It's Black Echo in the series, and he's a LA, or is it Hollywood? LAPD homicide detective, Harry Bosch. And so I seen the TV show. I seen a couple episodes, and I really liked it. So I was like, oh yeah, I think I want to start the series. But it's, he's got quite a few. So this is also another author I want to try and read this year. And so yeah. So as far as self-care, number 5 is, what is one book and or series you revisit for comfort? Well, there's a couple. Um but it's usually, there's a couple authors in the couple of series, but the one I probably usually enjoy going back to the most is James Patterson, and he has the Women's Murder Club and the Alex Cross series. And I really, I really like, um, I really like James Patterson. It's a detective series. Usually, he has a bunch of series, but this is the Women's Murder Club series. This is the first one, and those are numbered. They're like numbers first, second, third in the title. So I read this one, and it started me off on the Women's Murder series, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy those characters, and it's set in San Francisco. Well, it has been since I've been reading it, so unless they moved, I don't know. Because I'm behind. I'm behind in this series, in the Women's Murder Club series. I don't know. I think I got through 12, 13, maybe 14. There's like 20. I think this next year a number 25 is coming out, maybe. I think I seen that. And so, yeah, I really love this series. This is something I can just, it's a quick read for me, and I enjoy it. It's a cop series. And then the other one, the Alex Cross series, this isn't the first one in the Alex Cross series, but this is the first Alex Cross I ever read. And this I read before there was a movie that came out, Kiss the Girls. It was based on this story, his writing. And I knew it was coming out, and I knew this was a book, and so I wanted to read it before the movie came out way back when. And I did, and I really liked the book. I really liked it. And then when the movie came out, I really liked it. I don't remember when the movie came out, but yeah, I fell in love with this Alex Cross character, and they do have a new Alex Cross series on Prime. I did watch they have one season out right now. It just started this year, or the end of last year, I think. And I watched it, and I really love it. I really love the guy who plays the Alex Cross. He's a younger version of what this Alex Cross in the books are. But yeah, so that's a good series. I really enjoy those series. I just want to, for me, that's like a cozy read. It's just a detective, a cop series. It's a thriller. Um, but yeah, that is my comfort series. And then for number 6, Forging Ahead. What is your favorite debut book or first book in a series you read last year? Well, that one probably would be. There was a couple of series I started last year that I hadn't read, and but the one I come back to is because also it's a TV series, and they just started their third season. Just started last Tuesday on ABC, and it is the Will Trent series. And so I heard about that series, and then I found out there was a book, and I've jumped into the world of Karen Slaughter from. Thank you, Karen, for introducing me to Will Trent and all of your other lovely thrillers. But yeah, Will Trent, this is Triptych. This is the first one in the Will Trent series, and I absolutely loved it. Loved it. I love the show. I love Karen's writing. She is very graphic, but I mean, it's realistic in some ways, as far as, what a murder mystery would be, I guess. But yeah, it's a good thriller. I love it. This is set. Will Trent is set in Atlanta, Georgia. She has another series. I can't think of it's the it's also set in Georgia. I believe she's from and lives in Georgia. And she has standalone novels. I have a couple of her standalone novels. And yeah, so I'm just hoping to do a deep dive into Karen Slaughter this year also. So that was number 6. Number 7, your goals. It says, do you have a specific reading goal or challenge for the year ahead? And so for that, I'm answering, I want to make some good progress on my series that I have. I have a bunch of series I've started collecting and wanted and started to read. And there's some series I've had for a while that I'm just either I've just read the first book or I'm really behind. And as in the James Patterson ones, I'm really behind on all those, but I also have Patricia Cornwell and John Gresham. John Gresham has a lot of standalones. Patricia Cornwell has Case Scarpetta, but some of the series is like the Rizzoli and Isles series by Tess Gerritsen. Gerritsen. This is the first one in the series. This is a surgeon, and they also have the TV show Rizzoli and Isles. Me and my sister both love that series. This is a duo. One is a medical examiner, Isles, and the other one is a homicide detective, Rizzoli. And I love that series. It's not on anymore. Gosh, I miss that series. I have them recorded on my TiVo. I think all the episodes, but I do want to get the DVDs for those too. But yeah, so this is the first one. I love this series. I've read, I think I know I've read this one. This is the first one. I thought read the second one. I might have started it, but I don't know how many there is, maybe 10, 12. I don't know. And also there's The Women's Murder Club, which I mentioned by James Patterson. So yeah, because I'm far behind on that, but I've read more of these. Like I said, I think I'm at 14, 13, 14, maybe 15. I don't know. This is the Women's Murder series by James Patterson. I want to get through more of those. And the Alex Cross series, again, I'm way behind on this one. I don't even know where I'm at in the series. He's probably got 5,000 of those. I don't know. He's got a ton. And like I said, the Will Trent also, and then there's a little cozy mystery series I read at the end of this last year, which was Shady Hollow. It has about that one I could catch up on more easily because that one has about 5 books and I've read the first 2, so that's maybe more realistic to get through those this year. But yeah, so those are some of the series I would like to get through for my goals, a reading goal I have this year. So yeah, and so number 8 is it's a bonus question. It's breaking walls. It says, "Do you have a non-book related goal for 2025 you wish to share?" Sure, I wish to share. Yeah, so I thought of a couple of things. There's like 3 things. One is like a craft goal. So I do crafts. I make crafts. I sell crafts, sewing crafts, paper crafts, whatever. Um, I do a lot of crafts. One I want to try, and I've already ordered some stuff to try it because I don't think I've did it before, but I might have a long time ago. But let's try doing cross stitch. I've been interested in learning how to do that. Like I said, if I did it, it's been, I mean, years and years. And I did hand embroidery before. I know in high school, like we took home ec and we did a little bit of that, and I actually really enjoyed it. And I just, it just fizzled out, and I didn't do it. But I think something I want to get back into is maybe trying some cross stitch and trying to do embroidery again, like hand embroidery. Like, you have sewing machines that do embroidery now, but there's just something about the hand sewing aspect. Now, when I sew, I have a sewing machine, like sewing aprons and crafts and stuff. I do not sew that by hand. Um, that would be crazy. But anyway, that I'd like to try. I would like to try to do some of that and see if I can get okay at it, good at it, whatever this year. And then my other goal is like outside goal, which means outside the house goal. And that would be getting my garden going again this year. So last year it was a flop, the garden. I didn't garden. I didn't have any vegetable gardener. Usually we have a vegetable garden every year. I've done that for years. Last year it just, it got overtaken with weeds, and then there's so many things going on personally here in our house and our lives that it was just not, it was not a priority. And so we kind of got it cleaned up last year, at the end of last year. And maybe this year, of course, it's been raining. Of course, the weeds come back, but I have a rototiller for that. But anyway, I like to get my garden started again this year. Hopefully it'll do better than the last few years. It just gets so hot here that it just really kills things so easily, and there's no way to put a big shade cloth against in this one area that I have the garden. It's like a big area. It's like, I don't know, like 50 feet by 50. No, it's not that big, but yeah, that's just impossible to do. We don't have a greenhouse, but my mom thought that we could do a little greenhouse, but well, that's a bigger project. But anyway, yeah, so the outside goal would be to get my garden going this year, this spring, which is coming up pretty fast. And then the third one is a personal goal, which would be eat less snacks. I don't know about that one. That one's probably out of the three, that would probably be the hardest. But I said we'll see. Uh, yeah, eat less snacks. Uh, yeah, I know. It's probably better if people eat less snacks, but those of us who eat snacks, we know how hard it is. I mean, anyway, so that is the 8, and the 9 is to tag someone, which I don't have anybody to tag, like I said. So you just tag yourself. Go ahead. So that is the New Year's New Me book tags, and if you have anything interesting you're reading for the new year, any of those tags that you really have something that pops in your head that you um, can think of and you want to mention, go ahead. If share if you'd like. Um, yeah, so I'll tag the 2 other videos. I'll link them down below, and you can watch their videos too. I can't think of the person who started this tag. Was Kevin Towle. Kevin at Kevin Towles 9665. I'll put his I'll put his name down for the original tag too. That one I didn't see. I don't know who that is, but I got this tag from Beyond Books and Book Chat with. And yeah. So hope you have a good rest of your day. Have a good rest of your week. And if you cross your fingers and have high hopes, we'll be back here on Thursday for Book Talk Thursday. Okay, thanks. Bye.